Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So we were discussing up the terminologies, important terminologies related to probability. Right, so let me get forward with that perspective thing only. So what I would do is that I would take up a new color here so that we can differentiate regarding different terminologies. Great. Let me start from here. Okay. So previously we did discuss about the probability, the experiment, the chance experiment, the outcome and the sample space. Okay. So right here today I'll be starting out with the events. That's what are the events. Okay. So an event is any combination. An event is any combination of the outcomes. So what is an event? It is a combination of the outcomes. And what were the outcomes? We did discuss this in the previous video, that the result of an experiment is called an outcome. So an event is a combination of the outcome, means that an event is a combination of different outputs which you have for a probability. Okay, so in simple, you could just simply mention this out particular thing, right? Great. So this is what an event is. Okay, so how do we represent up the event? So capital A, okay, the uppercase characters, okay, like capital A and capital B represents events. Okay, events. So capital A and capital B, these are a sort of you could say the denotions, the representation for the event. So whatever the uppercase characters you're having, all of those represent out the events, but not the capital S, because capital S is the representation of a sample space. Remember, I just told up this respective thing onto the previous video only. Okay, so make sure into that particular case. Great. So hope I am clear with what is an event actually. Okay, let's say if I take up an example. So into that case, let's say there is an experiment, and in that you have to flip up one fair coin. Okay, into that you have to flip up one fair coin, and that's an experiment for you. So event A, okay, now the cases can be that event A might be getting at most one hit, right? So the probability for an event A is written as, you write the probability for an event A in this P, then put up the brackets, and let's say A is the probability of the event for which you want to put about. So you put up that respective event inside the brackets. Okay, so this is how actually you describe an event, this is how you represent an event, and this is how you write the probability of an event. Okay, so hope I am pretty much clear with this particular thing to you. Now, further getting ahead, now I'll be talking about the long-term relative frequency and the further things. Okay, so where's my pen? Yeah, here it is. Great. So I'll be writing up here the probability B-I-L-I-T-Y. Yeah. So the probability of any outcome. The probability of any outcome is the long term is the long term relative is a long term relative frequency. Okay, so the probability of any outcome is a long term relative frequency, okay, of that respective outcome. Let me write that as well. Okay, so of that outcome. Okay, so the probability of any outcome is a long relative frequency of that respective outcome. Okay, so hope I'm pretty much clear with that. Now we know that the probabilities are between 0 and 1, right? So including means that 0 is included. Okay, include 0 and 1, all the numbers between these values. Okay, so the probabilities are between 0 and 1. Okay, so now if I write probability Okay, now here are some important things to be noted down. Let me just get down here with some space. Yeah. Now, if I write probability of 0, okay, if I write probability of 0, what does that, sorry, not like this. Let's say if I write probability of A is 0, okay, what does this means? This means, 0 means the event, that 0 means that can, the event can never happen. Okay, it means that the event can never happen. If the probability of A is 0, so it means that the event can never happen. Okay, now if the probability of A is equal to 1, okay, so it means if the probability of A is equal to 1, it means the event A always, it means that the event A always happen. Okay, probability of A is 0, it means that the event can never happen. If the probability of A is equal to 1, it means that the event A always happens. Okay, next, now if I write about probability of A is equal to 0.5, okay, now it means the event, the event A is likely, one second, if 0.5 means that if 0.5 means the event A is likely to happen, to occur, you could write is likely to occur or not to occur. Okay, so 0.5 means that the event A is likely to occur or not to occur. Fine. So this is the respective case when the probability is somewhat 0.5. Okay. So we have these three things regarding three types of terminologies here that you shall actually keep up into your mind. Now let's see, if I took up an example here that if you flop up a coin, if you flop up one fair coin, okay, so repeatedly, okay, let's say from 20 to 2000 times, 2000 to 20,000 times, if you repeat it repeatedly, if you flip up that coin repeatedly, then the relative frequency of hit approaches to 0.5. Okay, it means that when 0.5 is the probability, so it means that respective event is likely to occur or not to occur. This is the case when you have up the probability of any respective event as 0.5. Okay, so let's say if I flip up a coin 2 times, 20 times, 2000 times, right, 20,000 times, so into that we can say that the probability of coming hits is 0.5. It means that the event is likely to occur or not to occur. Okay, so hope I'm pretty much clear with this particular thing regarding the probability. Right, now what does this equally likely means? When I just wrote up here that the event A is likely to occur or not to occur, right? So now what do we meant up, one second, not only likely, here you have the equally likely, one second. Here I am adding up equally as well, okay? So 0.5 means that the event A is equally likely to occur or not to occur. What do I meant by this equally likely? Okay, equally likely. What does this term actually meant out to me? So equally likely means, okay, it means that each outcome, it means that each outcome of an experiment, let me just write that down. Yeah, so equally likely means that each outcome of an experiment occurs with the equal probability. Okay, it occurs out with the equal probability. This is what actually equally likely means. Right, so whenever let's say we are flipping up a coin to somewhat number of times, let's say 2000 or 20,000 times, so the outcome, the event which will be there, the probability for that respective event is gonna be equally likely. Right, so it means that that respective outcome of an experiment occurs with the equal probability. Like there, that number of times the hit can occur as well, and that number of times the hit can't occur as well. These two are the equal probabilities which you have for this particular like example which I did mention above. Right, so hope I am pretty much clear with this particular thing to you, that how does this equally likely actually refers to. Right, so let me just get back here, and let me quickly take up a highlighter with me, and let me tell you that what are the things that we discussed up today into this respective video. So right, so we discussed up that what is an event actually. We discussed that it's any combination of outcome, right? And how is the representation? So representation of an event is always in uppercase, and if you want to write the probability of that event, so the representation is probability, and into the bracket it's A, right? Now, the probability of any of the outcome is a long-term relative frequency of that outcome, right? We discussed of this particular thing. Further, I did give you a different scenarios, that if the probability of A is 0, then what does it means? If the probability of A is 1, then what does that term means? If the probability of A is 0.5, then what does that particular term means? These were the different scenarios which I did mention up with you, right? Right, and further we discussed about in detail that what do we meant up by the equally likely. This term which we used it in the probability of 0.5. So into that thing, what do we meant up by equally likely? We refer to of this particular thing, that it means that each outcome of an experiment occurs with the equal probabilities. Right, so hope I am pretty much clear with these terminologies to you, which are really very essential for you in the probability to do up the questions in a good manner, to do and give a good understanding of the things, right? Further, we are left out some more terminologies. I'll be covering those into the next video. So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.